control ground zero. AJ the army of the people. On a visiam. Na military already. On a military this way the control ground zero. AJ the army of the people. On a visiam. Na military already. We fire war with bow. We fire war with AK-47 G3 M16 chain cutters. Na visiam. Na general by action. Na visi. You are part of the battalion in this. Na visiam. No be easy. Yes, today the 8th January. So they will look at so and they will believe them. The army this where they control ground zero. Now the army this on ground zero. Now this year, no be mob. It is so under the Supreme General of the ADF. A general by action, no be general by mob. I see battalion, a battalion this. Wow. Ambazonian, I pray for the beginning. And I pray for the Supreme General of the ADF. That the battalion there they will bring independence of this country. Not in this. When I see them. Well equipped. This is the army of the people. The army did the control ground zero. Ambazonian I see. It don't be easy, but now God will get power. No be by power, but by the grace of God. Official.
Yeah.
That the biggest of all number that be this.
Thank the egg of CADF for your handwork. If you not see ADF and egg of C, if you not look and find on a handwork than this, we thank God. Escape! I hear you! Escape! I hear you! Who's your for commandant?
A military already on ground, a military this way they control ground zero. AJ the army of the people, on a visiam, na military already. We fire war with bow, we fire war with AK-47 G3 M16 chain cutters. Na visiam, na general by action, na visi, you are part of the battalion in this. Na visiam. No be easy. Yes, today the 8th January. So they will look at so and they will believe them. The army this where they control ground zero. Now the army this on ground zero. Now this year, no be mob. It is so under the Supreme General of the ADF. A general by action, no be general by mob. I see battalion, a battalion this. Wow. Ambazonian, I pray for the beginning. And I pray for the Supreme General of the AGM that the battalion there they will bring independence of this country, not in this. When I see them, well equipped. This is the army of the people. The army there they control ground zero. Ambazonian, I see them. It don't be easy, but now God will get power. No be by power, but by the grace of God. Official.
Yeah.
That the biggest of all number that be this.
Thank the egg of CADF for your handwork. If you not see ADF and egg of C, if you not look and find on a handwork than this, we thank God. Escape! I hear you! Escape! I hear you! Who's your for commandant? Correct.
Military already on ground, a military this way they control ground zero. AJ the army of the people, on a visiam, na military already. We fire war with bow, we fire war with AK-47 G3 M16 chain cutters. Na visiam, na general by action, na visi, you are part of the battalion in this. Na visiam, no be easy. Yes, today the 8th January. So they will look at so and they will believe them. The army this where they control ground zero. Now the army this on ground zero. Now this year, no be mob. It is so under the Supreme General of the ADF. A general by action, no be general by mob. I see battalion, a battalion this. Wow. Ambazonian, I pray for the beginning. And I pray for the Supreme General of the ADF that the battalion there they will bring independence of this country, not in this. When I see them, well equipped. This is the army of the people. The army there they control ground zero. Ambazonian, I see them. It don't be easy, but now God will get power. No be by power, but by the grace of God. Official.
Yeah.
That the biggest of all number that be this.
Thank the egg of CADF for your handwork. If you not see ADF and egg of C, if you not look and find on a handwork than this, we thank God. Escape! I hear you! Escape! I hear you! Who's your for commandant? Correct. Una good evening, my fellow Ambazonians, for all our people then for Ground Zero. Una good evening for all una. For all our people then for North America. Una good afternoon for all una. I be una brother Asu, una the press secretary for the Executive Office for Governing Council of Ambazonia. That means I be the spokesperson for the office for the leader for our War of Independence, Dr. Abacho. Today, I don't come with big breaking news. We can't give our people them the big operation with the Ambazonia Defense Forces with the National Liberation Army. They don't carry them for the big city of Bamenda. And then I go also for give our people them public information will be necessary for all Ambazonians for the great state of Mezam and for the great state of Manu. All right? Una welcome. Today, when a Tuesday, April the 6th, for morning time, for the big city of Bamenda, the Ambazonia Defense Forces Bamenda Brigade, they be done the plan and action for monitor some La République du Cameroon, their terrorist occupation forces them. As they don't monitor them, the people for intelligence, they don't do their work. When the time don't reach, the fruit, they don't ripe for their intelligence. They move in today. As they move in today, for place where La République du Cameroon, their terrorist forces, they carry water for every morning. Our forces, they be already did it, they with them, and so as they show up, 3 of La République du Cameroon, their terrorist occupation forces, they be take them out immediately for place where they go, for go carry water for their water supply, so place where they go carry their water every morning. So I want to tell what people say, the Ambazonia Defense Forces and our sister forces, they go continue for carry out surgical operations, tactical operations across Ambazonia for their own time and for their own terms. Now a different kind of war. We go fight that war. We go decide what battle. We go choose what battle. We go plan what battle for carry out operations where they go end Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia, send all La République du Cameroon, their colonial terrorist occupation forces out of Ambazonia. There is no place no day for inside Ambazonia where any La République du Cameroon et Kelebe, their colonial be army, police, and gendarme. No place no day for Ambazonia where they go ever be safe. No matter place where they day, were intelligence operative, they monitor them. Now a matter of time, they will take them out one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Besides, for inside Bamenda, will this one take place today? So the Ambazonia Defense Forces them on Sunday night, they don't monitor some La République du Cameroon terrorist occupation forces them. Where on Sunday night, they like for go be for some nightclub or for some bar, for go play with small girl them, for go drink mimbo, chop soya, dance with woman them. While forces they don't monitor those forces, those La République du Cameroon, their terrorist occupation forces. So for Sunday night, when they think say place they fine, now then that they don't go shit on 3 of them. They drink mimbo, they dance with woman them, they chop soya. They think say they enjoy life in Ambazonia. They don't know say they say were intelligence operatives them. They did for all those places. So immediately, while forces they enter for that place, they take out 3 La République du Cameroon terrorist occupation forces where they drink mimbo and dance with woman them. They take them out, and for that operation, while forces they harvest 1 AK from La République du Cameroon forces them. So whether they go be for mimbo house or they be for restaurant, whether they did for some office or they did for market, any place where La République du Cameroon, their colonial forces, they did that place, Ambazonia intelligence operatives, the people them for ADF where they gather intelligence, they already inform our forces. So no place, no day where Cameroon forces, they will ever be safe for inside Ambazonia. Now the first news that. Now make we enter for the second part of which I want really can tell you today. We don't see two messages. They don't come off outside. Two messages where the IG, they don't put them for outside. Two messages. This one concern the Ambazonian people them. And it be important we inform what people them. The IG don't put out two messages where they for outside they circulate. Number one, the first message where the IG put them out. When I talk say the IG, all IG na one. Whether when I think say na two IG the day, we will consider say na one IG day. The first message where they put them for outside, what people they need for know. Now say the talk say make all civil servants for where they do for Ambazonia. Whether you be an Ambazonian or you not be an Ambazonian, as long as you be a civil servant, you do work under the colonial state. They talk say you must come out Ambazonia. You must leave Ambazonia. Now the first message they put on for outside, they say all civil servants where they work for the colonial state, make them leave Ambazonia immediately. They follow up for that message. Also part of that message, they talk say they say, make all citizens of La République du Cameroun, where they stay for Ambazonia, make them come out Ambazonia immediately. Now the first message that. The second circulation we do for outside, now say the road where it connect La République Mbunda to Bamenda through Matazen. They talk say make no man, no moto, make what people no waka again for that road. They talk say they don't call for an indefinite shutdown of that border road between Mbunda and Bamenda. They talk say make no Ambazonians, whether they travel go for La République, whether they do business between Ambazonia and La République, make them not ever work for that road again. Then they go for the state of Manu. They talk say the Ekok road from Ekok for Manfe, them they don't give order. Say make they put total emergency ban. No motor, no waka between Manfe and Ekok, or between Ekok and Manfe. Now the two messages in that way, the IG, they put them for outside. So, which I want what people they know, and I say, we didn't for a war of liberation. We didn't for a war for free what people from Cameroon occupation. Instead of for the make bans. Today you go come out, you can't ban this one. The next day you come out, you can't ban that one. Instead for the do all these things, when you do something where you not feel enforce them, all right? When you do something where you not feel enforce them, now you don't talk say okay, make all Ambazonian civil servants. Ambazonia the way they make their money, now for they make they make money, they pay they chop for their house, they pay their light, they take care of their picking them, they take care of their families. When you can't move those infrastructures of social welfare and you not get the means for replace them, now what you would think say go happen for the millions of people with their livelihood, it depend on those services. When you talk say, make all civil servants, they come out Ambazonia. Make all nurses who they work for hospital, they come out Ambazonia. Make all doctors, they come out Ambazonia. Make all the people that work for hospitals, they come out Ambazonia. Make all the people them where they work for places where they provide water, they come out Ambazonia. All the people that work for places where they provide light, make them come out Ambazonia, and you never create an alternative. Now, what do you think they did one? and you never fit for provide an alternative, wetin you feel say you did do am? Now the strategy that of liberation, people go just woke up for morning time. They just woke up for morning time. They just think some spontaneous thing. How this one connect with their strategy of liberation? Now the first thing that. Now, more answer the question. Now, when you talk, say they say, okay, I want to make all civil servants they come out from Ambazonia. How you go money replace the income of all these millions of people? And the colonial state, now the highest employer. Ambazonia no get companies then, where they employ people then. Most people that they still rely on the colonial state for employment. So the strategy for governing council of Ambazonia, and I say, we go leave the colonial state, it continue for pay the bills of all Ambazonians then. While Ambazonians, they need to perform. The colonial state, they pay all the teachers them. But 90% of all the schools in Ambazonia, they be shut down. Right? So the colonial state, they still pay these people them. But they need to teach. Most civil servants in Ambazonia, their offices, they close. But the colonial state, it be obligated for continue for pay these people their salary. So it increased their cost of occupation and there is no productivity. So the strategy of banning, it defies liberation logic. Will not fit just begin to do things anyhow. For increase the pain on the Ambazonian people where their pain already be too much. We want to stabilize the ground, defeat La République du Cameroon. Not before destabilize the ground and add poverty on top of chaos. And then the only thing we keep families them together. Now that's social cohesion. When you can move all those things, what you go think say go happen for all these families? So the reason why the governing council of Ambazonia, it thinks that this ban, it not fine, it not make any sense, it not make any liberation logic, it need to achieve any specific goal and objective, because the goal and objective not be defined to the Ambazonian people, they not be explained to the Ambazonian people, there is no timeline, it be just being as until the people they put them for outside, but the Ambazonian people not be consulted and explain about what will be their political objectives. And people know where the consequences of these things. So why did they hide for back? They take this information, they just go can't put them for outside, because all these people that they hide for back, they fear for make them an official policy of their institutions and organization. They go hide them for back, create flyer them, and then send them for soldier them. Say una take and una put them for outside. If una policy, una think say na a logical sound policy, why una not put una faces for outside? Una can't give this information. As for talk say it come from an organization. If na a sound policy will be based on good judgment and research, why una not put una faces for outside? Una communication people them for outside. Make they talk am so that make it reflect una position from an organization. Now they need this of leadership. And the only reason why these people that they do these things, not just simply because they not want to buy guns and train soldiers. Now the only reason why they be now forget relevance. For make Ambazonian they feel say that they do something. Now for the issue bans every day. This week na this ban. Next week na that ban. The other week na that ban. Simply because they get an agenda for not buy guns and train forces for move the liberation forward. Now the only reason that if they did buy guns and train forces, therefore they think about how they fit take out police station, gendarme station, SDOs and DOs, and not before use the population like they are bargaining chips. And not before they use bands for make flyers for show to whoever their international partners they be. So we get control. We feel make an order and people they listen for we. That's not a liberation strategy. And so when they make these bans, then they not feel enforce them. What go end up happen? Now say you make the ban, you not feel enforce them. You become ridiculous. All right, you ridicule yourself in the eyes of the international community. You make yourself look like a coward in the eyes of the international community. You start to lose your relevance within your own people. They look at you like ineffective. You don't know what you do. You don't get a strategy. You be reactive. You start to lose your relevance. Your organization become useless. But the consequences in this with ineffective leadership, when leaders, when organizations do not surround themselves with people that they fit think critically, come up with policies and strategies with a focus and a plan. So the Governing Council of Ambazonia, the leader for a war of independence in office, he don't review all these things and he talks and make a tell the Ambazonian people, say make they go about their business. Make they go about their business with the state of Manu. The man fait a cock road. What people need, they need for be able for move, for carry out their commercial activities between Manfe and a Cog Road. And even if the Ambazonian people, at the time when they decide for say they want close the road, they could do them for strategic reason for 1 or 2 days for carry out action. We no go take any action. We go deprive our people then or add pain and suffering to the lives of our people or take away their economic activities for them for be able to take care of their families. Those things are not liberation strategies. The people get for be consulted, the people get for be informed. So we want to tell the Ambazonian people, say we no go live and make a war of liberation a bit destabilized by inconsistent policies where they not get a beginning and they not get an end. Where they not get political objectives for achieve them and the population never be consulted and they never explain them for the population which these things they go achieve them. And now for how long? So that you give people the ability for plan. But you no go woke up one morning just because it be a movement. You just can't tell people, say, hey, from today till forever, when I no go work again for this road. And you not give them an alternative. And people, their lives, they depend on that. For the northern states, for their land, for the savannah states, now only one way they were people that they make commerce between Ambazonia and La Republique. And for the southern states, now only one road they were people that make commerce between Ambazonia and the colonial state. That's why after they don't review this policy, the Governing Council of Ambazonia, it want cancel that ban, it want uplift that ban, forgive our people them, we no go impose unnecessary burden and pain and restriction on the Ambazonian people them. We don't already suffer. It don't make any sound judgment. And we believe say make consultation take place within organizations. And they do not advise these people then. Say this policy, they not be consistent with the aspiration and the strategy of how we get for conduct ourselves in front of the Ambazonian people then. That's why we the one can get this discussion. Not be that for make any person may feel more superior, but not just because say we got for do things then. For the way it move we forward. Not be that for add pain for our people then, just because some person want to be relevant. If you want to be relevant, buy guns and train forces for liberate the land. Buy guns and train forces for liberate the land. Make I conclude by saying that I want also talk for the people then for IG. The forces of the Ambazonian Defense Forces. Any leader where want send information for implementation by the forces of Ambazonian Defense Forces for the respect of other organizations and movement. Consult the leadership where it train those forces, it equip those forces, it create those structures. Consult that leadership. Go for back those forces them. Contact forces them. Begin to give the forces them flyers. Talk to una take and una put them for outside. It be disrespectful and it not meet the standard of leadership. For they go behind those forces, past their hierarchy, past their organization, past their leaders. You need to consult the leaders, but you want to go behind those forces. May they carry out your plan. We used to say, enough you put your face for outside. It not meet the standard of leadership. I will not think saying that the way they were supposed to work with each other. I want just make this one be very clear. So I want to tell the people of the IG, we not stop for contact the forces of Ambazonian Defense Forces for carry out una dirty work them for ground. Una talk say una get una own forces. Una use una own forces. And if it come now for use for also talk for the forces of the ADF, una go through the hierarchy of the ADF. Una go through the War Council, una go through the chairman in office, una go through the Secretary General in office, una go through the Deputy Defense Chiefs, their office. Una go through Sheikh Kavi office, una go through DDC Kapwe office. It be disrespectful. And una stop them. Una stop them. For we for work together, it will come now from respect of the various institutions and leadership structures. It be very important. If a policy makes sense, we go take them, ask our forces, maybe implement them. If we meet the strategy for move our war of independence forward, we go take them and instruct the forces for implementation. Because we want to achieve those common objectives as a people. But the manipulation for say we no want buy guns, we no want train forces, we no want go now for other groups. The forces where other groups they take pain, sweat, and energy for train them, keep them together, and then when they try to go behind them. When I pass the people the way those forces, they take care of those forces. It be disrespectful when I stop them. When I stop them. I don't want to call names. But if we not continue, the next time I'll call when I name, I'll put a picture of outside. When I know when I be. When I stop them. One show respect. But respect is something when you get for deserve them. Respect is something you get for earn them. If you know carry yourself the way we go earn respect, then you go earn disrespect. if you not conduct yourself as a leader the way it command respect, then it go command disrespect. And you go only get yourself to blame, not be anybody else. We want show respect for everybody. But now how you also carry yourself, now go determine whether you command respect or you command disrespect from the Ambazonian public. Whether you be a leader of respect from the public or you be a leader of ridicule from the Ambazonian public. You got to decide. Now a choice you got to make them. Now a choice. As the talk say, a word for a wise, it be Sophie. We'll leave them for day. So, are the two important things in this, what I be talking, make I can't take the time, I can't talk them for our people then. The leader on Friday, he would get an important conference call, press conference. Yesterday, it be been a day will break grounds for ACN. For the first time since they create ACN, the news will come off outside about, say, the leader, he don't form an alliance with the people of the Biafra. It shake place yesterday. That the public is shake right now, and as we speak. The horse of diplomacy that he shake. The Nigerian government is shake. Yaoundé staff for shake the whole night. The presidency of Cameroon not sleep. We get calls with the detail what did happen. This thing don't frighten them. This message will come off outside. Say the governing council of Ambazonia, it don't form an alliance on behalf of the Ambazonian people then with the people of Biafra. It don't shake la Republic. It don't frighten poor Bia. There are small calculation where they be get them. It don't scatter them. It be frightened. If una dey read what did happen for the diplomatic cables, a lot of movement it be happen, it be take place yesterday. A lot of movement. The whole morning, a lot of correspondence that it take place within the diplomatic circles. Just from that news. Just from that news. So, why all those things that they take place, I don't also hear say the same IG, it don't go back, the people of Biafra for say, hey, the governing council of Ambazonia and Dr. Ayaba not been at the right leader that way to represent Ambazonia. So that's what we don't hear. So the people for IG, they don't write the people of the Biafra, they don't write letter then send out for the people of Biafra. Said no, the governing council of Ambazonia and Dr. Ayaba not been at the right leader where it represent Ambazonia. Una di hear bad belly people them. May I tell you something? When Mr. Kanu, who is the leader of the Biafra, when he be the talk with the governing council of Ambazonia, since more than a year ago, for that same time, he be the talk with the two IGs. For that same time, he be the talk with all the movements. He be even get a meeting with the IG for Maryland. They be get a meeting. But why it be say after they don't get these talks for more than a year with this say with all the groups them? Why it be say Mr. Kanu decide now for make sure say he work now with Dr. Ibacho? You don't ask yourself. They don't ask themselves why. Just like the Swiss. Not be these same people that run, they go Switzerland. They go tell the Swiss government, say, hey, now who will be the majority? Now who will be the legitimate group who will represent Ambazonian? After 2 years, they don't realize I'm saying the legitimate group and the majority group, it not get power. They not build power. Their power be based now by noise. They not build the power for claim and prove what that you talk about. Now they don't go for Mr. Kanu, go to make the same noise. Mr. Kanu also don't realize, and the Biafra don't realize and say, these people, they not get the forces and the leadership structure for build that kind of alliance. Because now a tactical military alliance. Now a tactical military alliance. Now alliance of power. All right? So, what brothers them, what people them for the IGs, una relax. Through time, the Ambazonian people know who each movement be. They know their strength and they know their weaknesses. When it comes for the powers of gun, when it comes for the powers of gun, the powers of boots on the ground, the powers of defense structures, that one, even if they put now 1 to 10, 1 to 10, okay? They put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. ADF is stand for number 10. All the other group, they stand for number 1 and number 2 place. The gap just be too much. The power gap, the defense power gap, the guns power gap, the training power gap, it be too much. So when I get a chance for convince Mr. Kanu and for show ye, say when I get what it takes to form those kind of alliances. But obviously when people they not be credible leadership, when people they not be consistent, and they not feel show what they talk about, then it takes them nowhere. So just like the Swiss talks, these people not feel for proof to the Swiss, saying that then they be majority and that then they get the power for control ground zero. That's why they not be fit for move those talks 1 inch. Even when you take 5 of them, you put them together, they not be fit their combined power for 5 movements. It not be fit combined power of 5 movements. It not be fit for show the Swiss. Say these people, they fit make a decision and an impact and they enforce them for ground zero. 5 movements. And the same with their talks with Mr. Kanu. He also can show, say, they not get the power, they not get the structure, and they not get that kind of rebel leadership will be needed. So, the governing council of Ambazonia, now the pillar for the future of the Ambazonian people then. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, now the papa and mommy for the liberation of Ambazonia. Over the last few months, and I don't want to see their action them every day action them every day action them. Even when they go carry out the action for take out the house, for go capture the house, for the highest La Republique army general, capture a house, enter inside, they make video, they put them outside, they show their faces. These same people, they still deny, say, not be ADF. They still deny, say, it not happen. Even when pictures for that house, it shows, say, the brown bonham. These same people that they still go tell their people that they worship them. Say, not be na ADF carry out the action. It get as it be. They be known for one or two things. Not be that the Ambazonian people, they are fault. But the Ambazonian, they don't wise. Ambazonian, they don't rise beyond this little manipulation where people, they be things, they say, because they be fit for talk for television, because they be fit for talk for WhatsApp, they go fit manipulate the Ambazonian population. Now, Ambazonia, they see, we show Ambazonians the results. Now, na do and show by results. The Ambazonian people don't be educated. So now the place where their manipulation end. Now the place is all these nyama things they end. So when I rise up, when I feel do better than this. When I rise above all these small talks. When I do the work for ground. When I say when I get forces, when I get forces, may they do the work. When I buy uniforms for when I forces, when I buy boots for when I forces, when I give those boys the confidence where they need them. When I give them the structures where they need them. Those things will make when our groups better. It will make when I be dependable and trustworthy. Noise and manipulation, that one don't end. The days of noise and manipulation don't end. The days for build leadership, now by blackmail, don't end. The days when people that they build leadership now for blackmail other movements and groups, those days they don't end. If you want to be effective, people, they must see a leadership and they must see the results of your work. The days where people, they claim that they raise this amount of money and then 2 years later, people need to see one gone. Those days, they don't end. Today, Ambazonians, they want to see results. They want trust. Ambazonians, they trust the movement where they produce results. And the governing council of Ambazonia, Dr. Abacho's leadership, the ADF leadership, they don't prove to the Ambazonian people through time. I will prove them. General F. don't can prove them today. The future be secure for all we. And the future will be better for all we when movements, where they claim say they want independence from Ambazonia, when they start to do the things and what the people they expect them. Ambazonian people, they don't expect make movement, they only begin to sign a ban upon bans every week. They expect movement, they talk, they say, we want fight like the Republic of Cameroon, we want liberate the land. They expect those movements for buy guns, train soldiers, equip soldiers under total command and control structures. And those soldiers, they be identifiable. People, they fit identify the forces. And those forces, they go get name. Now, just a small advice is what I go like for give you now. But if you not like, when I take them. But if you not like, when I continue. And if you not continue, I guarantee you now, probably by the end of this year, just like a lot of Ambazonian activists, where they carry lie, propaganda, and falsehood for push their agenda, Those things, they go only last for so long. And today, some of them don't disappear. You don't feel build anything will go last through lies and manipulation and deception. You don't feel build them. That's why those activists, today, a lot of their programs and their narrative, they don't die. So they not fit come back again, can't look Ambazonian people them for eye and talk because they lost credibility. So a lot of leaders, they go lost credibility for Ambazonian independence if they continue with manipulation, if they live on people that like Barrister John Sofru. I just feel sorry for this power. Say a big power will feel respect he don't reach to that kind of age. He go to live and they begin to use it for that kind of level. Power, you be better than that. When I learn from the examples of Cardinal Tumi, when I learn for live a dignified life. Today, Cardinal Tumi is supposed to be a celebrated cardinal. The way it happened. When I see the last few months, how he act. When I see what happened, as he die. Make these things have been a lessons for all we. Just maintain a level of character. Be a decent person. Just be decent. Just be a decent man and a decent woman. Just get some character. When I think after when I don't make all these lies them for here, for TV, how no money go ground zero? When I think when I don't manipulate soldiers them, lie to the population, deceive them, how will I go manage go back for the same country? Will I be very careful? Everything will happen for the internet be recorded forever. The things that we do them today, they go be used against one for the Ambazonian court of law. All this manipulation and deception and intoxication, they be archived. When I just be decent, especially for Pa John Sofru, Pa for your age. For your age. Not live and make people them with low character. They finally destroy the small thing, the small few years where you still get them for your life. You don't come from America. I beg you, Pa John Sofro, be a noble man. Be a noble man. Maintain a level of character. If not be so, you no go even fit for live within your own communities. If you not change your ways and raise yourself to a level to be a decent power, even for your own country meeting, you no go fit for be there. Because you no go fit for be amongst noble men and women and for live within a noble community. The culture of Ambazonian is a noble culture. Where people are a noble people. We are not live on the cancer of corrupt characters. We will not learn them from La République du Cameroon. We will go import them, bring them, even when we don't leave Cameroon. We will not leave those things behind. When you move to a new society, model the best for that society and adapt yourself for reflect the future of which you want to make your people to be. Now, my advice that for Pa John Sofro, if you want personal coaching and leadership coaching and maybe transformation coaching, contact me for back. We'll discuss that matter I feel help you for change your character. All right? That one are just small advice for Pidgin so through. So I talk this way about just bring them for our people them today. On this week, it don't been already a good week. We're not only for day number 2 and things that happen already. The future be bright for the Ambazonian people them. As the leader don't promise, after a re-election, he get now a 4-year mandate for deliver a free Ambazonian to the Ambazonian people them. The leader of our war of independence, Dr. Abacho, he don't promise the Ambazonian people the last 4 years, he use them now for build the capacity and for change the direction for our war of independence in terms of ground zero and for the international system. These 4 years where they don't re-elect him for be the president of Governing Council of Ambazonia and as the leading movement for our war of independence, he want guarantee the Ambazonian people say this last 4 years he go take very radical actions for change the dynamics of our war of independence. Radical, bold actions for change the way the world look at this war of independence and their calculation between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon. So it no go be a business as usual in terms of liberation strategy. A lot of things, we will do a lot of things, take out a lot of decisions for force Cameroon into a negotiation table. For force the international system for no joke anymore, but for take concrete actions for an effective negotiation. Now the move now for power diplomacy. Not be targeted, but power diplomacy. Would build alliances for power purposes and for expand our capacity for ground zero. So now a new era this, now a new style of leadership, it could be a radical way for do things in order for create the kind necessary change on the ground and the international system. The leader not be out now for popularity. The leader be out now for deliver results for the Ambazonian people them. The leader not be out now for please Cameroon. So any person where you there for outside there, you did make your 2 cents noise about diplomacy and human rights. Then you never start to think about the realities on the ground. When a bit Ambazonians, they don't live for a culture where they be too sensitive and too prideful. They fear for take risk. Even risk where they will give them what they want. Just because they be too concerned about the opinion of others. Even when the opinion of others will not be good for them. They be concerned about the opinion of Nigerian government. They be concerned about the opinion of the United Nations. They be concerned about the opinion of the European Union. People, they be so sensitive to their own destruction. Just because they want to maintain some delusion. Say they be a gentle people. You be a gentle person, but your people that they face genocide. You be a gentle person. There were sisters or mommy that be raped. And you say you be a gentle person. You come up for a gentle culture. And how's it be burnt? But you want to maintain gentleness. Just because you want to make the West they like you. You want freedom or you want light. Your actions for social likeness, they no go take you anywhere. You must demonstrate a level of seriousness of which you fight for. Because human rights, not been as until some man will give you. You'll be a beggar if you go down that route. Human rights, not been as some person, not been as some country give the people for Canada human rights. Now the people, they create them by themselves. They fight their own war, they liberate their own country, and then they create a system where give their people human rights. The people of America no wait, make some person can't give them human rights. They be there under British occupation. They accept their own right for self-determination. They defeat the British and create a system where give their people them human rights. So I understand my younger brother. I understand Eugene. I understand you very well. But when I stop for play these little games with the Ambazonian people then, for go back the world, may you can't protect your people then. When you say self, you don't want to protect your own people. If you want to go back the world, may you can't protect your people then. You want to go back the world, make you invoke the responsibility to protect. But you shy away from the same responsibility to protect. It be hypocritical, Eugene. We not change una ways, my brother. All this una nyanga politics. It go only give you a voice. It go give you small Facebook fame. But you go get zero impact. Now you don't be the chairperson for Ambazonian Youth Council. And when a primary aim now how will fit be for the negotiating table? A youth movement. Now the thinking system that how will fit join the other leaders and be for negotiating table? Not be how will fit join the other leaders for defend and protect the Ambazonian people. It be very shameful. For see young people, then where they get a good role for play, for build a society of quality men. They just the pussyfooting. Because they won't be liked by the international community. It be a shame. When I change on our ways. When you face a certain circumstances for your life, you must change yourself for be able to deal with that circumstances. If not be so, it could destroy you. Even if you not be like war, the fact say your people that they face war, you must change who you be as a person for respond for that situation. I think they call it leadership. Even if you be person where you be fat, all right, through your bad habits, you don't chop a lot of sweet in them, drink a lot of things them. You be very lazy, you need to move. Now you don't fat. You must change yourself for start waka and start run for lose the weight. People must change for conform for the reality with the people that they face. That's why every leader and every movement, it got for change for the way we can run the treat our people them and respond for gain the respect of even the enemy. You must change yourself for adjust for the situation with the face. Even if you talk to you, go to church. When they start rape your family members, burn your house, and not care about that church where they go. You must change yourself. Use your same faith, your strength, your courage, your bravery for protect and defend your people them before you go beg God. May can protect and defend your people them. But if you want to be a coward, now for leave them, they rape your people them, burn their homes, destroy their businesses, destroy their lives, and then you go, you carry Bible for head. Holy holy mama karata papa. Then you be a coward. Because you don't understand what it be that faith. When the circumstances, the situation change, it require you for change yourself, for be able for respond. They call it responsibility. Responsibility, it means the ability to respond. Responsibility, it means that the ability for respond. During times of war, you must respond for the way it be appropriate for save people their lives, protect them, and defend them. That's responsibility. Now, yesterday, the United Nations, it is celebrate or it is reflect on the genocide which take place in Rwanda. It take 3 months. 101 million people they be killed. 3 months. But the world watch. The world be participate. It take 3 months. The world not be the same for 3 months. The world be same 3 months. 1 month, 2 months, 1 week, 2nd week, 3rd week. Not be the world be the same. But now only after 1 million people they already be killed. Now the attitude that of cowards. Now after they don't live and when people don't killed, houses don't be burnt, girls don't be raped, families don't be destroyed. Then we can't talk about human rights 10 years later, 5 years later. Now the attitude that of cowards. A smart, courageous, caring, and bold person. A person will be responsible. The ability to respond appropriately based on the current situation with the people that they face. We now continue for trust for a leadership we don't stand between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon. Dr. Badon put himself as the gatekeeper for defend the dignity of the Ambazonian people. And he will continue for lead the armed resistance on the ground. We will continue for buy the guns and the bullets and train the forces with a total command and control structure for defend the Ambazonian people, liberate the land, and defend the sovereignty of Ambazonia. We must once and for all as a people end Cameroon occupation and colonialism of Ambazonia. And you know go do them by begging an Oyibo person. You no go do am by begging Oyibo may he can't end Cameroon occupation. When that same Oyibo the benefit from the occupation. Make we wise up. Make we rise up. We know what the work. You know what the work. From January till now, since they built the special forces of the ADF, the Akamatsus, the pride of the Ambazonian people, them don't change. Even within the peaks, some of them don't call ADF their sister forces. Yesterday, one of their spokesperson, it described the ADF as a sister force just because of this power. See, man, leadership is a beautiful thing where you know the art of the game and how for do them and then for win for the benefit of the people. Then. The last 3 months, from January till now, might just say the last 4 months, we just moved to a new month. The way the perception of Ambazonia, both on the ground and the international community, it don't change because of these forces. That's all we get for double the force and quadruple the force. Cameroon, the time don't end. We now watch. We'll leave them for here. All right? We'll leave them for here. May God bless all man. The reason we'll be so passionate, not because we don't want to make any person play with the lives of our people. Then. And the reason that way sometimes this passion, they be so strong. Because when you woke up for morning time, you listen to families on the ground. You go also get this level of passion. And you know go take this nonsense from people you know say they get the talent and the ability for do something positive. Something constructive for our people then. That's why. And because we care. And we want the victory and the success and the freedom for our people then. Now an encouragement. May God bless all now. We love now. When I get a beautiful day, when I take good care of ourselves, as always, Papa beg with the beg now, when I take good care of our picking them, and Papa and Mommy, when I take good care of each other. Brothers and sisters, when I take good care of each other. We want to be very kind to one another. All right? May God bless all now. When I get a great afternoon, people then for North America, when I get a great afternoon, people then for Ground Zero, when I get a beautiful evening. We love now plenty. Bye for now.
The be na military already on ground, the military this way they control Ground Zero. AJ the army of the people, when I visit them, na military already. We fight war with bow, we fight war with AK-47, G3, M16 chain cutters. Na visit them, Nigeria by action, na visit they were part of the battalion in this. Na visit them. No be easy. Yes, today the 8th January. So they'll look at so and they'll believe them. The army this where they control Ground Zero. Now the army this on Ground Zero. Now this year, don't be mob. It is so under the Supreme General of the ADF. A general by action, don't be general by mob. I see battalion this. Wow. Ambazonian I pray for the beginning. And I pray for the Supreme General of the ADF. Now the battalion they will bring independence of this country. Now then this. When I see them. Well equipped. This is the army of the people. The army they control Ground Zero. Ambazonian I see them. No be easy, but now God will get power. No be by power, but by the grace of God. Official.
Yeah.
That the biggest of all number that be this.
Thank the egg of CADF for your handwork. If you not see ADF and egg of C, if you not look and find out handwork than this. We thank God. Escape! Escape! What's your phone, Commandant?